welcome back. Now I'm going to be taking you CSS background. And what are the things you need to know about CSS background? CSS background is a CSS property that is used to add image to the background of your web page, or rather your website. Okay, and there are different types of CSS background property. You have the CSS background color. You have the CSS background image, which is used to add image to your website, the background image to your website. You have the CSS Repeat. By default, any type of email you add to your website as a background, by default, it tends to repeat itself. So CSS do repeat has an attribute that will make the image not to repeat itself. Now we have the CSS background attachment, and we have the CSS position, the CSS background position, and we have the background itself. Now, without wasting some of your time, let's go into our text editor. Okay, here now in our text editor, I have created a simple HTML page, right? And like I told you in the previous tutorial, how we can create our head, and we have the meta tags here in our head. We have the link tag, we have the script, and we have the title tag, which is for the portfolio, which says my portfolio, right? And inside the body tag here, I have created a header tag, and inside the header tag we have the nav tag, which is for the navigation bar, and inside the navigation bar we have the list of things we want to be in our navigation bars. All right, so now below the header tag here, I created a div tag. I created the first div tag and gave it a class of hero image. Now, this hero image is where I will now import the image I want to use for the website using the CSS. Okay, so now I have created a div tag called the hero image, and I created another div inside the first div tag called, and I named this, I give it a class of hero text. Okay, and inside this hero text I have the H2, which says welcome to Onyx Kitchen. Okay, and I have the H3, which say welcomes to goodbye junks, hello super healthy food. All right, and I have a button tag here that says order. All right, so now below here now you see the H5 element that says about me, and a paragraph that has a dummy text that represents all you need to know about Onyx Kitchen. Okay, so now I'll go straight to the CSS file. Already I've created some CSS code here. So now I will tell you what each of these code does. All right, now if you will remember in our previous tutorial, I told you about when we were talking about selector, I told you about the class selector. All right, in CSS, if you have a class, we have a class here, you have a class selector here that says hero image. Now let's go back to the HTML and check. We have a class here that says this is the class. We have a class here that says hero image. Now for us to represent this class in our CSS, we use the period sign, which is this sign here. We use the period sign, which is this sign, the full stop sign. Okay, we use it to represent class in CSS. We use the full stop sign to represent class in CSS. And now see, now I wrote down the period sign, and I put the class name, which is the hero image. All right, and I gave it some property. I gave it a background image, I gave it the background size, I gave it the background repeat, I gave it a height, and I gave it a position I gave it a position. And each of these property has their own attributes. For background image, now if I would just comment this out, okay, no, let me cut it instead. So if I'll cut this out, now for you to add an image to your website using CSS, you once you type your background image, you use a URL. You use an attribute called URL, and URL it can be used to find the path which of the image you want to use. All right, so let me just Let me cut this as well. Okay, let me mute it first. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and make a different background image, different from the one I have here. So, and already I have copied all the image I need is now in my image file. These are all the image I will need for this website. Okay, so now going straight forward, let's say the background image, background image. Okay, and for you to bring out a background image for using the CSS, you must use an attribute called the URL. All right, once you hit enter, you see a parenthesis. So inside the parenthesis, now you will now write the part in which the image are located. Okay, the part in which the image are located. And in my case here, all my image are located in the img folder. This is a folder. This folder here, this is an img folder. All right, and inside this folder I have several pictures inside this folder. So now I'm going to choose the part which I want to bring, the part in which I want to bring my image from. So I'll just type img. Then I have the list of my pictures inside the img folder. So I'll just choose any one of them. Let's choose this. Okay, now we have this. All right, so now we have the, let's go to our browser now and see how that looks. Let's refresh. Okay, I think something is wrong. Background image. Okay, it should. Should come up now. Okay, while we wait, while the browser loads, so let's go back to our text editor, and now we have next, after our background image, now let's say we want to put on the height. We want to give it a height. Of, say, still 500 pixels. Sorry. .500 pixels. Okay, so let's go back and see if yes. All right, now we have, I think it was because of the height. So like what I told you earlier, I said if you add an image to your web page, by default it tends to repeat itself. Now you see this image is trying to repeat itself here. So for us to now make to prevent this from happening, so we'll use the background repeat property. Right? Background repeat property, and we put no repeats. Okay, now let's save and go back. Okay, now we see now that the picture is no more repeating itself, but we have one issue here because it is not taking the entire width of the it is not taking the entire width of the browser. So we'll now go there and use the background position. We'll use the background size rather. We use the background size. Okay, is there a problem? Okay, I think okay, yeah. And I know what the problem is. Alright, so background size. Choose background size and we'll make it to cover. You understand? We want it to take the full width of the browser, so we'll use the property called cover. Okay, so now let's go back to and check and see if that will work. Fine. And you all see that it is now working. You now have this picture taking the full width of our browser. Okay, so after that, now we want this text here, they are in white color, so we want to add a black color on the picture. You understand? We want to add a black color on the picture, and after adding the black color on the picture, we will now want the black color to be transparent so that we can see the picture behind. You understand? So now what we are going to do now, we'll come here, already have a property, we'll come here, we do Control V to paste. Okay, we have what is called the linear gradient. All right, we have what is called the this linear gradient allows you to be able to add color to a picture. Let's say you have a picture, you have the picture on the table, and you get a black cloth, or rather a white cloth, or a red cloth, or any color of clothes, and you now put the cloth on top of the picture. Now it will be difficult for you to see the picture unless the clothes is transparent, right? So that is exactly what we did here. That is exactly what we did here. We have the picture which is here in the URL. All right. Then we now put the color. We now put a color on top of the picture. And for us now to make the color transparent so that we can see the picture behind, we use the gradient attribute. We use the gradient attribute where we adjust. Now once I touch on this black thing, you see this dialog, this color dialog box comes out. So from here now we can choose how transparent we want the black color that we added. How we can choose how transparent we want it to be. All right, so you can either make it very dark, in which if we save it now and go back to our browser, refresh, and you see that it is very dark, though we can still see what is behind. All right, so if you still want the picture to come out a little more, you understand, but the black color should still be there, so this is what we'll do. You just bring your cursor here, all right, and you make sure this color, the dialog box for the color, comes out. Then you drag this one down. You drag it down. Let's say this is okay, right? So save and go back to our refresh. And now we have this. It is not as light as it was, right? It is not as light as it was. Okay. So now, having done that, now the next thing we are going to do here now is position. How do you want to position the hero image? All right, do you want it to be fixed, or do you want it to be relative? All right, so though we'll also come back to that. So then, and here we have the hero text. You have the hero text, which is all this text here. Welcome to Honest Kitchen. Goodbye, junks. Hello, super healthy food. These are the hero text. these hero texts, these texts, they are in a div. You understand? They are in a div element. They are in a div element, and they are in a div element that has a class called hero text. You understand? They are in a div element that has a class called hero text. So what I did here now was, since the whole text there, they are in a div element called the hero text, that has a class called hero text. So it is that class that I now brought out to CSS to style. You understand? And the style, this is the hero text. So for me to style this now, I did the text align. I made all the text to be at the center of the browser. Understand? So, and I did the position to be absolute. You get, and the top margin to be 50, the left to be 50, and the transform to be translated. You understand? What transform means? That to make how you want it to look like. You understand? How you want it to look like from either the bottom or the right. Since we've done for top and left, so here we'll do for bottom and right. You understand? So that is why you are not using the negative sign, and you gave it a color of white. You gave it a color of white, and a font weight of 200 pixels, then a font size of large, then a font style of italic, and a font family of Time New Roman, Times, and Serif. All right. Now coming to our H5. Our H5 now, it's the let's go to our index notation. Let's see the H5. The H5 now is the about me. The H5 is the about me. So now styling the H5 now, we just gave it the text alignment to be at the center. So now let's make it let's give the font a font size. Font size to be, let's say, large. Okay, font size to be large. Let's see how that looks. Now you see the font is bigger than the way it was. So let's give it font style. Give the font style of opaque, sorry. All right, so let's see how that looks. All right, and font family. Sorry, that's the wrong spelling. Font family of, let's say, let's say I use sans serif. So I use this sans serif. Okay, this is a font. What is it called? Font family of sans serif. Now let's go ahead and style our margin, our paragraph. Sorry, style our paragraph. This is our paragraph, right? This is our paragraph already styled. All right. So since this is our paragraph. Now what we are going to do here is, we can actually add a border. You can add a border to the paragraph, right? But I'm not going to do that. Rather, I would do a really nice thing. So here now, at the upper end here now, we have the list of what we want in our navigation. But right now, I'm going to change something, but I'll leave the home, I'll leave the about. So the contact, I would rather change the contact and replace it with something else. All right. So let's go back to our text editor. let's go to the index. Okay, we have the about, we have the let's say what will I put it now? Should I say type of food or foods available? Should I say food available? Okay, so let's say foods. So this, instead of pricing, let's say the cities where these foods are available, the cities, and we'll leave this man out, okay. So now let's go back to our browser, refresh, so you can see the changes that are made. Okay, now this is the changes that are made. All right, so let's go back to our text editor and let's style this. Let's style this. Okay, before then, let's take a short break, and by the time we come back, we start styling our nav bar. All right, please don't go anywhere and stay tuned. Thank you.